Well, hello guys. This is a test of the new 4K setup mode. I'm using right now the Optoma ZH406ST projectors. Those are the laser projectors I've been using. I was feeding them 3K information, so I changed up the warping and resolution to 4K, which is 840 by 2160 for each projector. So that totals a screen you see here, which is 11520 by 2160. So anyway, this is in preparation for the new projectors which I got, which are the 4K 400 STX. Those are from Optoma also. And those are native 4K resolution, and that will further improve things. So what I see now over the previous 3K is a little greater detail, a little better contrast, and that's about it. I still see the screen door pattern on these. I'm not sure if I can zoom in here to show you that. Yeah, you kind of see it. I've got a problem with this phone camera whereby it's not really focusing. So anyway, there's a definite or prominent screen door pattern with the 406 ST projectors. And that's because what they do is they'll take up to 4K input, which is what you're seeing now, but they downscale it in the projector to 1080p. And therefore you get a sort of a pseudo 4K. Anyway, so here we are at Santa Barbara Airport, and I'm going to go ahead and start the engines. Do a short flight from Santa Barbara to LAX. I'll pause this along the way so I don't bore you with all the details, but I'll try to point out some of the interesting scenery along the way. Okay, well, we're basically started up here, we're ready to go. The packs are off. Isolation valve open. Duct pressure is good. And all the pressurization is set. So let's go ahead and turn one. I'm not going to follow the procedure exactly here, but you'll get the idea. So we've got N2 rotating. And 22%. We'll go ahead and turn our fuel on here. 25. Fuel on. EGT is rising. Oil pressure's up. Start valve is closed. Looking for a stable. Okay, engine stable. Let's go ahead and turn 2. And N2 is rotating. And 25. Fuel on. Okay. EGT is rising and oil pressure is up. Start valve is closed. Okay, stable, both sides normal, and oil pressure is stable and normal. Go ahead and turn our ignition continuous. Gen 1 on bus, Gen 2 on bus. Propede on, all the hydraulics are on. Packs are on, isolation valve is auto, and APU bleed off, pressurization check, cargo door shut, and we'll turn off our APU. Flaps set 5. Okay, moving to flaps 5. There's me, myself, and I in the cockpit here. Go ahead and reset our clock. Not that it matters. Okay, let's give ground a call. I'll play ATC and first officer here. Okay, indicated flaps 5, roger. Santa Barbara ground, United 722, push start complete, taxi for departure. United 722, roger, taxi left, Bravo to Alpha, runway 7, cleared across 15 left and 15 right. Okay, clear taxi Bravo Alpha, runway 7, cleared to cross 15 left, 15 right, United 722. Okay, brakes released. I'll try to taxi and film at the same time here. Okay, this is a typical transition with this scenery. This is HD scenery, Orbix of Santa Barbara. Little left brake there. We've been cleared to cross 15 left, 15 right, so
5 approach left, 1
lights on, lights on. Negative traffic, 15 left and 15 right. Roger. Get it back on the center line here.
5 right.
Okay, well, auto throttle is coming on.
Short runway.
And instruments check. Altimeter is 299er2, set both sides. Check. Auto throttle is armed. Takeoff speed 146 knots, V2. And initial heading will be 74 degrees up to 500 feet, then right 120 degrees. Stop altitude is for this departure is 3,000 feet. Heading select, level change is set. Projected takeoff set, gear 3 greens, gear down and locked, and we confirm that. Speed brakes are stowed, and trim is 5.2 units, check, and flaps are set 5. Takeoff instruments check complete, and takeoff checklist complete. Let's give tower a call. Santa Barbara Tower, United 722, coming up on runway 07, ready for departure. United 722, roger, runway 7, winds calm, cleared for takeoff. Clear for takeoff, runway 07, United 722. Captain, crew, take your seats for departure. So filming and trying to steer this thing on the ground is a bit challenging. Scott, you'd appreciate that. Okay, coming up, getting lined up here. Brakes, little brake action. What I noticed with 4K is a more definition in things like the lights and the markings on the runway and so on. Getting lined up on runway 7. Okay. So we've been cleared for takeoff, thrust check. Stable, normal, both sides. Set toga. And set thrust. Rolling, airspeed's alive. Little yin yang on the camera there.
8 knots.
Check. 100. Little back pressure. V1. Rotate.
V2. 3,000 remaining.
Positive rate to get the gear up. And bug up. Get it up to about 205 knots. Check. We've gotten our initial climb at 1,000 feet. Go ahead and get autopilot engaged here. Command A. Check. And we've got a heading of 074 degrees. Now we're going 120 to the right, climbing to 3,000 feet. The scenery out the side here. I've got the camera set at wide angle, so let me try to increase this a little bit. Okay, that's almost 1-to-1. This is Santa Barbara, downtown Santa Barbara, the harbor area. United 722, contact departure. Contact departure, United 722. Click, click. Santa Barbara departure, United 722, level 3000. United 722, roger, climb maintain 8000. And let's see, climb maintain 8000, roger. Level change 8000. Well, this is the trim action right now. I've played around with it, Fred, and it's kind of working, sort of. What can I say? So when I become a SIOC expert, I might be able to reprogram this thing. So we passed 3000. Go ahead and turn the landing gear off, auto brake off, start switches off, and flaps 1. And we'll get 250 in here for our speed. So this is the bottom of the screen, obviously, so I'll try to keep it centered on here. Anyway, I'm going to pause this as this is a little bit distant, and then we'll resume it when we get closer. Okay, we got cleared direct to Henner intersection. This is the transition between projector 1 and 2. The camera picks up things a lot more. Play around with the flaps for a second there. Alright, that's it for right now, and we'll put this on pause. Okay, we're headed to Henner intersection. This is out the left window here, looking at the scenery just prior to turning onto the heading for Sadie intersection. Again, we're headed to LAX. Straight ahead. I've got the draw distance on P3D version 5.4 set for about medium. Okay, we're 7 miles from Henner. But this gives you a good idea of what the scenery with these ZH406ST projectors are like with 4K input. Again, we're looking at a 1080p output with the 4K input. And the reason I set it up this way is because when I get the mounts made for the new projectors, which are the Optoma 4K 400 STX, then I'll already have this calibrated correctly, and I'll just be able to put the new projectors in and then tweak it a little bit, and I should have native 4K display. I don't see any difference in performance. Okay, you're turning into our new course for Sadie. This is the let's see, this is the Thousand Oaks Ventura area here. So no stuttering at all. It's running really smooth, which I expected with the RTX 4090 card. It's in the settings I have, so it's about as best as it can do at this point. And I've got a little icon up in the upper left here that tells me temperature and the GPU and CPU. I've got the IP cooler running into the computer. So I've got a CPU temperature of 28 and a GPU temperature of 28. The load on the GPU is 4%. CPU clock, it's dynamic, so right now it's 5.6 gigahertz. Okay, this right here is Santa Rosa Valley, Santa Paula area. I used to practice my helicopter training down there at the base of those mountains. Okay, we'll pause it here till we get over closer to the Malibu area. Okay, en route to Sadie again, about, I don't know, about 3 miles from Sadie. This area here is Westlake Village. Actually, right about the center there is where I started one of my venture-funded companies. Beautiful area in California, as crazy as California is. Coming up over the Malibu area. Malibu and LAX and that area there. Looking over towards San Fernando Valley off the left side of the aircraft. But I think you can get an idea from the video that the scenery is actually pretty nice, even with the 1080p. Okay. We're basically set up for a vectors to final from into LAX runway 24 right, and we're slowing down here 4,000 feet, and we've already got our ref set and set up for flaps 30 landing. ILS course, localizer course 251 degrees set both sides, check. And it'll be auto brake 2 landing, it'll be flaps 30. Okay, coming in over Malibu towards the Santa Monica Airport. And now at the left side of the window, Fred, I think you can see there's really no stuttering here with 4K. Okay, this vectors to final calls for a heading of 070 off of Santa Monica. So I'll go ahead and set that up. And we have our nav radio set, 108.5, set both sides. And speed brakes are armed. Auto brake set too, and we'll be slowing this down further. We got our ignition set for continuous. Not really following a checklist, just trying to hang on to the camera and get things set up. This is interesting. You can, I don't know if you can see it, but the scenery is starting to draw LAX, which is over here, and Santa Monica, LA area is starting to see things paint a little bit. Okay, I'll put this on pause till we're turning final for the ILS 24 right. Okay, we're getting vectors to final here. This is Highway 101, by the way. I used to fly my helicopter down here and land at that school about the center of the screen. Anyway, very congested down here. Wilshire Boulevard, Beverly Hills, downtown Hollywood area, Wilshire area. This is Los Angeles off in the distance. Okay, we're descending to 4,000, getting set up downwind leg to ILS 24 right. In the center there is Burbank Airport. This is the Wilshire area. Hollywood right in the center there. So this is LAX scenery, this is mega scenery, and basically very smooth. I can't even detect a stutter. This is downtown Los Angeles. And off the right side of the cockpit there. I took your idea, Scott, and made the little hooks for the headsets. That's nice. And my son got me the Telex 750s for my birthday, so those are on their way. So anyway, I appreciate you letting me use yours for that period of time, and sorry for joking about it so much. In any case, oh hey, there's Dodger Stadium right down there. Okay, I'll put it on pause until we get closer to turning base for final. Okay, just getting ready to turn our base. Thought I'd point something out here. This is kind of an interesting tip for setting up a fix. You can, in this case, I'll use runway 24 right, and I set up a 5-mile radius /5, and next waypoint or fix would be /10. And that results in concentric rings, and so you'll kind of see those down here on the nav display, and it's a good reference point. Some guys use weather to get their concentric rings, but I kind of like this. It was a tip from a 737 pilot. Okay, I think we're expecting some vectors here to final. United 722, turn right, heading 180 degrees. Cleared ILS 24 right approach, maintain 4,000 until established. Right to 180, 0 degrees. Cleared ILS 24 right approach, maintain 4,000 until established. United 722. Okay, we're turning to the right here. We've been cleared for the approach, so therefore I can crank this over a little bit further, 200 degrees. And I'll go ahead and set bore lock. We're waiting for the localizer to come in. And ignition set continuous. The trim is going crazy trying to keep up. And we expect the localizer to come in very shortly here. And of course, when it does, then we'll go ahead and be turning right onto the localizer. That'll be in about 3 miles. I sure wish I could fix this trim. Okay, this is looking towards the Santa Monica, not Santa Monica. This would be John Wayne Airport down there, and the former Top Gun training center. This is east side of LA. Catalina Island off in the distance. And getting a new track into the localizer here. Localizer is alive and active, and we're now following the localizer in. That's Long Beach Airport in the center there. That's undergone quite a bit of change over the years. I think now they just have one runway. Okay, LAX straight ahead, straight into runway 24 right. Getting set up here. And so the glide slope is active. We'll set approach capture. There we go. Glide slope and localizer. And approach stable. Master recall, I'm not sure what that was all about. Probably off-scheduled something or other. Okay, coming up, we're about 11 miles out, dragging this thing in a little bit. So I'll go ahead and put this on pause, and when we get closer, I'll set up the final segment. Okay, we're about 6 miles outside of LAX, final approach. We'll go ahead and get the gear down. Los Angeles Tower, United 722, established ILS 24 right. United 722, winds calm, runway 24 right, cleared for takeoff. Not takeoff, cleared for landing. It's a problem when you're your own ATC and first officer. Okay, Scott, Fred, this is LAX. This is about as dense as you can get the scenery here. We're in the LAX photo scenery, so this includes that area. And it's, to me, very smooth. You get an occasional update, but basically the airport is painted already. And by the way, that's, I think, Hawthorne Airport. And LAX, runway 24 right. Okay, moving to flaps 30. And landing checklist. So speed brakes are armed, gears down and locked. And flaps 30. Landing checklist is complete. I have the image stabilization turned off on the camera, so it might bump around a little bit here. So this is, what is it? FS Dreams scenery for LAX, which I was having some problems with, Dean too, and basically it seems to be running fine now. I'll set this up for a auto land. That did not work, actually. Oh, I don't know what's going on there. Okay, this is short coupled here, fairly smooth, maybe a few minor updates. Okay, trying to land. Oh no. Manual braking. Well, sorry about that. Landing and trying to hold the camera and do everything was a disaster, but you can get an idea. Okay, reverse thrust off.
6 left.
Steering this with the rudders right now and differential braking. So the taxiway markings, the lights, all of that stuff is actually not too bad for 1080p through these projectors. Okay, speed brakes off. We've been cleared to cross the runway here. I'll do a little yin-yang with the steering tiller and just get on the other side. Maybe I'll go up to a gate. That might be interesting. So basically looking straight ahead and going a little too fast to make the corner, but it'll give you an idea of the scenery update. It's really hard for this to paint the scenery so quickly when it's moving like this. Just a look from the side. I can read the signs a lot better than before with this 4K to 1080p. It's still certainly not as clear as MS 2020, but it's much better, more readable for sure. Okay, flight director's off, auto brake is off, ignition's off, flaps up. Coming up to a gate area here. It's the international airport. I've flown out of that so many times to Japan. Okay, changing hands here with the camera. I'm going to wheel it in here and park at a gate. That one straight ahead there. Little braking action. And kill engine 2. Too fast. There you go. Well, here we are at HSBC Gate, LAX. That's it, guys. Anyway, I'm all set for the new projectors. I just have to build the mounts, and then I'll install the new 4K native projectors, and should be good to go. Take care.